Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video leading up to the start for the Walking Dead Season 10. In this one, we're going to give our thoughts on some spoiler-free, mostly early reviews of the Season 10 premiere. Alright, so this one is going to be really cool. Of course, The Walking Dead Season 10 premiere is just around the corner now. It's officially slated for October 6th, which is next Sunday. So this Sunday would be the finale for Fear, and then next Sunday will be the premiere for The Walking Dead Season 10. So one goes right into the other. However, if you have AMC Premiere, then you kind of get to watch both this weekend, I think. I think they're doing Season 10 a week early, and some review sites such as Forbes here, and I'll put the link in the description to Paul Tassi's write-up. He does some really good write-ups for Walking Dead, and we most of the time are in the same ballpark in terms of agreement, at least a little, at least close. So that's good. So check out the article, read it through for yourselves from Forbes, from him. Very cool stuff for the Walking Dead Season 10 premiere because he's seen it now. So that's really cool. So for anybody who has Premiere, probably going to watch it this weekend. I might have to wait until the next weekend to actually see it and do the review, because where I'm located, we can't get Premiere here in Canada. Depending on who your provider is and the one I'm with, they don't offer it. So that's unfortunate. So I can't do it. But if maybe by some other means, might be able to see it early. It's hard to hold myself back when there's an option, right? You guys know, right? So the article says, I have seen The Walking Dead Season 10's premiere, and it is good. He leads things off with touching on Fear, which is kind of fun. So let's just read what he says to start. I have been accused of being a Walking Dead hater by diehard fans just because I roasted seasons 7 and 8 of the show and seasons 4 and 5 of Fear. How unfair. But in truth, I like the shows when they're good, and I dislike them when they're bad. And while Fear is currently so bad it's borderline unwatchable, so there's an agreement right there. Most of us pretty much agree that Fear is in a pretty sad state right now with where season 5 is kind of ending off. But I think the finale episode looks good, and I am personally looking forward to seeing it this weekend, even though it's had a lot of really lackluster episodes in this back half. But, I guess we have to check our expectations at the door. Fear the Walking Dead will never be what the original Walking Dead series is or was, or probably even will be in the future. It probably never will be. But the finale looks good, so we got to give them a chance to see this final episode. And then we'll recap and give our thoughts on, the Fear the Walking Dead's 5th season and what we think of it overall. I think you guys know where I'm at right now. First half was good, in my opinion. Second half has been some of the episodes are some of the weakest in all of the Walking Dead, be it Fear or the original series, anything Walking Dead comics. Some of these episodes in Fear right now are the weakest of all. Okay, so moving on from that, because you guys, we've done lots of videos on that. We know where we stand on that. Back to the original Walking Dead. All I did last season was profess my undying love for Season 9. And I think we all pretty much did. Season 9 of The Walking Dead was fantastic. I think it was, this is me speaking now, not what he's, writing here. But it was probably better than it even should have been, considering Andrew Lincoln was leaving as Rick. I think they've recovered from it in tremendous fashion. I like the time skips and the way that Angela Kang has kind of done things. She doesn't really do filler episodes, in my opinion. What she does is she picks up the pace, she goes through things, she's got these skips in between, and she really just keeps that momentum going throughout her episodes of each season so far from what we've seen. So I'm looking forward to seeing some more, great episodes like that from her in Season 10 here. It says, now AMC has sent out early screeners of the Season 10 premiere of The Walking Dead weeks ahead of its October 6th premiere date, and the embargo for spoiler-free thoughts lifts today. Even though these aren't, what he goes into here, it's not too spoilery, and I don't think there's any, maybe I could be wrong here, but I don't think there's any major character deaths in the premiere, but maybe I'm wrong in that. I haven't seen it yet myself, just like, you guys haven't either. I have to be pretty vague here, as there are lots of things I'm not supposed to get into, but I'm happy to report that while not some jaw-dropping entry in the series, it's very good and I enjoyed it. We are still in the Angela Kang era. She wrote this episode in addition to being showrunner, and the show is still benefiting as a result. I'll go through a few of the major points of the episode without getting into too much detail. The first part is there is another time jump, though this time maybe just 5 to 6 months. the weather is better, and Rosita has had her baby. This episode takes place mostly at Oceanside, which, yes, still exists, and it brings back the old leader of the community, Cindy, that many thought had left the show, though she doesn't do much. So let's stop there. So, I mean, nothing there, too spoilery. We saw from the trailer that a lot of the stuff is taking place at the Oceanside. It looks like there's some training that they're doing and things like this from the trailer. We knew that there was going to be another time skip because of the baby pictures and things like that they've posted. So nothing, too spoilery here. We kind of expected that. And I should also add that, my sort of expectation for the way Angela Kang does her seasons and her episodes, from what we've seen so far, with season 9 in that, I tend to look at it as she doesn't really fit kind of the older mold of Walking Dead, where you have this huge premiere, huge mid-season finale, huge mid-season premiere, huge season finale. For her episodes, it seems like she kind of, builds them and lets them kind of, place in where they do and has big episodes where they should be. Like if you look at season 9's finale, the last episode was the winter episode, and the episode before that was the Pike scenes, whereas in prior years, the way Gimple did it, and kind of a lot of the earlier stuff too, you would expect to see the Pike scene in the very last episode, and then maybe some filler in episode 15 or 14 or 13 to space it back and then put it in. She doesn't really do that. She kind of starts it off as it normally would and kind of has the big moments build up to it. So that's kind of my understanding of her premieres and the way she does things. Let's see if I'm right this season. Then it says here, Carol has taken over a Michonne comic storyline where she left on a ship to, quote, find herself and then returns. She was out fishing to try and clear her head after the Henry stuff. She has some nice moments with Daryl, which fans should love. Daryl has been trying to learn sign language to communicate better with Connie, which is adorable. They do not appear to be actually together yet, but that's another kind of fan theory, which is that we'll see Connie and Daryl in a relationship, and that's cool to hear that Daryl's learned some sign language. He probably knows at least some anyway, because he's usually pretty quiet when he goes on missions and stuff, and he does hand signals and stuff, right? So Daryl was never much of a talker, at least was not after like the third season or so. He started to become more kind of Clint Eastwood, quiet, zombie apocalypse style. Says here, the Whispers and their hordes have been missing in action since the Pike incident, but even with them gone, the community is respecting the borders they drew in order to not start a fight. Carol is not pleased about this. Then something happens to put everyone back on edge again. And I think, let's stop there for a second. Non-spoilers here, because I don't know if this is right, but I think when they posted some pictures and you got to see the storyboards and stuff like this, I think that it was kind of sort of accidentally released, that maybe there was a satellite that has crashed or something like this. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I think there was pictures of like satellites and stuff like that. So maybe in the premiere, one of the first few episodes, it might not be the premiere, but one of the first few episodes, based on that storyboard, maybe a satellite kind of crashes down in an area, and then they go to investigate and find out what's going on, because it's really big, like big blast and everything from it, kind of crash landing and everything, and brings in a whole bunch of zombies or something. So not sure if that's correct, but possible. So maybe that's what we're going to see in this premiere, maybe not. So they haven't quite crossed the border again yet, but it sounds like at some point in this first half they likely will, because Alpha's questioning them about it at some point. Well, you can kind of see in the trailer that they step over that line, right? There's a good moment between Negan and Lydia as members of former enemy camps. I expect big things from Negan this season, so I think we all do. And for me, more than anything, I just hope that he stays in the series for at least a few more years, because he was cast in other roles, the lead. So it's a movie though, so I'm hoping so. I hope JDM stays, and because if he leaves too, man, it's going to be slim pickings. There won't be a lot of people left. Aaron is kind of the military general of the group now, and is a total badass who is sick of taking crap from anyone. They've really evolved his character, and he seems like he's going to be an important wild card going forward, moving more into his comic role in terms of importance, and perhaps with Rick on, he does not get his awesome hand mace shown in some previews this episode. So that's kind of cool, and again, a lot of us are expecting Aaron to kind of take over Rick's role eventually here, because of course Andrew Lincoln's gone and has confirmed he's never coming back. He's going to be in the movies from now on. So Aaron looking a lot like the comic Rick, I think that fits in perfectly, and actually we'll be really excited to see if they could use Aaron to fill the comic book Rick moments, because the TV Rick or the movie Rick is going to be completely different than the TV Rick. The movie Rick is going to be a new creation of Scott Gimple and Kirkman, who's involved with the movies heavily. or at least the first movie heavily. So if Aaron kind of fills that role, I think that would be really cool because he just looks so much like him. The dynamic between Eugene, Sadiq, Gabriel, Rosita, and her baby is kind of funny and very awkward. Well, as it should be. Sadiq has PTSD from the Pike Massacre because he was there to kind of see it, right? Rosita is mostly fight training with Eugene, plays mom to the baby. So while Eugene plays mom to the baby, so Eugene's going to be... That's funny. There's a big... I don't know. There's a big harrowing sequence at the end of the episode I won't get into, but suffice to say, The Walking Dead is still on point with its zombie slaying and miles better than Fear. Again, there's nothing that jumps out to me about this episode to make it an all-time great or anything, but it's a solid opening to what should be another good season, I hope. The writing remains on point. The direction is solid. The show is still in a good place. I'm not worried. More to come later when we get closer to the premiere. So it sounds like everything is good. You know, it sounds like it's going to be a good premiere. Sounds like it's going to be some fun. Hopefully, maybe we get to see like that satellite thing. Maybe we get to see some cool training at the ocean side, and all around just really happy that The Walking Dead is back with another season. Happy that Rick leaving didn't kill the whole show, because that was a fear that a lot of us had. And even if you look at the comics, once they did that with Rick, it was the next issue and it was over. So the TV series has done some amazing things to be able to keep going, to be able to keep some of that cast and crew that they originally had, while you have others that are, they're going to leave. It's 10 years. Some of them are going to leave. There's nothing you can do about it. But the ones they've held on to, I think, are really good. And, looking forward to see some others kind of step up like Aaron, because really don't have much of a choice. You only have somebody to work with, so some of them have to become more important, and I'll be looking at him this season to become one of them that could really become kind of a fan favorite. So hopefully Ross Marquand, it'll be good for his career too, to kind of get that exposure, because The Walking Dead is still one of the biggest series in the history of television. Even still right now, it's one of the biggest series that's still on. So that's pretty much it for my thoughts on this one. I'm happy to hear that it sounds pretty good, and sounds like it's a decent showing and a good start for the season for Walking Dead. Excited to see another season of Walking Dead. And, just after all the stuff with Fear this summer, I'm really looking forward to seeing something that, should consistently be taking the zombie apocalypse world realistically. Even if they want to do some nuclear meltdowns or satellites crashing or things like that, that's fine. But not so silly and not so kind of crazy, kind of comical, to the point where the team is actually discussing doing a musical episode and things like this. Like, that's just, it says it all right there. So let me know what you guys think. Check out the article for yourselves. Shout out to Paul for writing that up. Appreciate it. And, let me know what you guys think. Are you looking forward to this premiere? Are you really excited for it? And it's going to be, for me, it's going to be a nice break from all the complaining after. I don't think there'll be too many people complaining about The Walking Dead Season 10 premiere. It looks really solid. Thumb up the video if you like it. Share, favorite. Check out the article. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for another. Trev, say peace. Later, guys. See you soon.